Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to understand this LeetCode problem number 3070, count submatrices with the top left element and some less than k. Okay, so the question saying that you are given a zero index integer matrix that is called grid integer k, and you have to return the number of submatrices that contains top left element of the grid and have given some less than or equal to k. And this is the example we are saying, right? Example we have given this, right? So saying that grid we have given 7 6 3 and 6 6 1. Okay, this is the very first one we can take, and k is 18. So it is saying that there are only 4 submatrices shown in the above image that contains top left element of the grid and have a less than or equal to 18. So if you do the sum, you will get it. Okay, so let's try to understand. If we will take 7, right, and if we'll do the sum, right, 7 6 is how much? It become 13, right? And then we have 3, so it become what? 16. Okay, similarly if we'll keep moving ahead, we'll get some values, right? Who should be, sum should be less than equal to 18. So it is happening, right? If you do the sum 7 6 itself, if we are taking means any either 7 7 6 7 6, this one 7 6 3, any of these, because it is less than or equal to 18. This is the question saying. Now let's see the constraint. We have given the constraints like this: mn, and mn should be less than equal to 1000, and same for the its value, and k value is goes to 10 to power 9. So this is the question saying that. Okay, let's try to understand first. So if you have observed this problem, right, so the most people overcomplicate this problem, but the truth is it is actually one of the easiest matrix problem. So once you see this trick, like, so let's suppose if you understand the trick how we are going to solve, right? So if you are struggling with this problem, right, so most probably you have to think about the submatrices, right, because the problem based on that. But there is a trap, right? So I'll show you in this video the exact pattern and the how this makes this problem super easy using the prefix sum. I know that you know about the prefix sum. If you not, let me know in the comment section. I'll point out to the right video so you can watch the prefix sum also, because I have already explained in previous class. So you are given a matrix, let's suppose called grid, right, and a number we have given k, and you need to count how many submatrices have less than equal to this k value. Okay, but here is a twist. Every submatrix must start from the top left corner, right? So you have to start from here, the top left corner you have to start. So this top left corner is that 7 we have, right? It is from where? It is at 0 0. So instead of checking all the possible rectangles, right, we only check rectangle like, let me show. So what we are saying that, so instead of checking all the possible rectangles that we are checking here, right, we only check that rectangle like this. Let's suppose we'll start from 0 0. Okay, so we have 0 0, then we'll check go to 0 0, right, like then we'll take 0 0, we'll go to the 0 1, right, then we should check 0 0, then we check I should check 1 1, and so on we'll check. Okay, so basically we want to fix, right, the start. We want to fix the start. How? So if the start is at 0 0, right, so what will vary? The end will vary, right? It can be I or Z, anything. So you have to fix the start, which is 0 0, but end will vary. Okay, I hope you are understanding. So we have given grid, we have given integer value k, we have given, right? We need to count how many submatrices we have. These are called submatrices, these are called submatrices, right? So how many submatrices have sum less than equal to this k, right? But we have found that there is a twist we have, right? Every matrix must start from the top left corner, that is 0 0. So we have to say 0 0 should be start, should be fixed, right? And so so instead of checking all the possible rectangles, right, we only check the rectangle like this, right? And we have think that the start will be fixed and the end will be keep varying the value, right? Now think that, so now think about intuition. Okay, what is the intuition we have here? Okay guys, intuition is very important. Now here is the most people goes wrong, right? How they calculate the sum again for each rectangle. Either you're talking about this one, this one, this one, this one, right? You are calculating the sum again for each rectangle, right? And that's makes the problem, the logic or the code, you can say, too slow, right? So that makes it too slow. So what we need to do, instead of checking or calculating all the time, right, instead of that we will use the, if you know about the thing, prefix sum. Okay, the prefix sum we should use, right? So prefix sum will store the cumulative sum, you can say cumulative sum, right? That start from 0 0 and it will goes to I and j, correct? Which means we already have the answer at every cell. Let's suppose 7 will be there, next 7 6 is 13, right? Like that we will have already, right? We don't need to calculate, right? We already have the answer at every cell that we will go. Okay, we are talking about that. So no need to recalculate again. So recalculation is not needed here. So let's try to understand how we will approach the problem. And so let me clean here. Okay, so very first what we should do, right, the approach, we are talking about the approach. Okay guys, so very first thing that you should create let's suppose called prefix matrix, we can say prefix matrix that will contain all the sum on each cell, right? So create a prefix matrix. Okay, then traverse each cell. Okay, traverse each cell. Once you created the prefix matrix, you traverse each cell. What is the cell? I and j. Then what we need to do, we have to build the prefix sum, right? Build prefix sum, right? How will you build that? You have some top value, you have some left value, you have some subtract, overlap, right? So we have to build the prefix using these things, right? You have to do what? You have to build prefix using this. Okay, then on the fourth, what you need to do, we will check if the prefix at I and j, okay, if it is less than equal to called k, then we'll count increment, right? Count it or increment plus plus. Okay, so count, you have to return the count in the last, right? So you have to take count here itself. Okay, and that count we will return as a output like this. Simple, right? It's very easy. Let's try to understand through the code so you will understand clearly. Yeah, So as you can see here, right, very first what we have done, okay, so very first we have given the grid we have given and k we have given. It means we need a prefix matrix, right? We have talked about that we will create a prefix matrix, right? The very first step is to create this prefix matrix, okay? Then we need a count. So once the count will increment it whenever the prefix is less than equal to this, right? So we have talked about that prefix I and j means each cell, if it is less than equal to the k, means we have to count it, right? So count it means count plus plus we have to do, and we will return this count, okay? Between that we have talked about that we have to traverse each cell. So to traverse the each cell of the matrix, right, what we need to do, we have to get the matrix value, means the grid value. So you can take the grid value, you have to take the prefix, right? You have to pre-calculate all these values. It means we know that the how we'll build the prefix sum, right? To build the prefix sum, what we need to do, we have to go to check the top left, and you have to subtract the overlap also, right? So if I is greater than 0, we'll build like this, right? So j is greater than, then we will build like this, means I minus 1j. And then if both are greater, right, I and j greater, it means we have to take like this, right? So all these things you have to take, like you have to build using the top, left, and we have to subtract the overlap, right? Means this is your top, this is your left, and this is your what do you call we have to overlap one, subtract one. You have to subtract that, right? This way you will build the prefix sum, right? Then you will check the prefix at each cell. You have already pre-calculated through all the sum. You will check the sum is less than k, then we'll increment the count, and finally we'll return the count, right? So this is what you will do, guys. It's easy, right? What we have done here, we have taken at each cells, right, because we are traversing in this loop. So at each cell, the very first that you will add the value, you need the add value, right? So you will adding the value, then you are going for the top, then you are going for the left, right? Then you are going for the left, and then you are subtracting the overlap, and then you will check the condition. If the prefix sum is less than equal to k, you will increment the count, and finally you will return the count. This is what you need to do, correct? What is the common mistake people do, right? So treat it like all are submatrices, right? If you will treat this as a submatrix, right, so that time you will do the mistakes. So don't do as a common mistake that most of the people is doing, right? So don't treat it like as a submatrices, right? Recomputing every time is also a problem. So forget overlap subtraction, index out of the bound errors will come, right? So those things you have to not follow, because that is a common mistake people do. Always start at a 0 0 0, okay? So if you see, we are starting from the 0 0 itself, right, always, and so you have to fix it, okay? Now you should, or you could try brute force, because that will give you the of n to the 4, right? Because that will become too slow, but it will help you to understand, right? Then try this prefix sum. So it will reduce to the O of m cross n, right? So that is the optimal answer. I'll suggest you to write the time space complexity in the comment box. So I'll understand that you will understand the problem, okay? So that's all I have in this video, guys. In case you are missing anything or you want to know anything, make sure that you can write the comment, and I can do the deep dive in another video. So that's all in this video. And if you are struggling with the preparation, right, DSA preparation and interview preparation, you can join my online classes. And that's all I have in this video. Check out the WhatsApp and connect with me. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And in case you are new at ExpertFunda, please must subscribe and support ExpertFunda. Thank you so much. Please give a like button also. Yeah, thank you.